Hi, I'm Sean Clark. I'm standing in front of the Wallace House in Hollywood, California. Welcome to Horror's Hollow Grounds.
1, 2, 3, 4! I don't care what you say, you find your own time. It's not my problem. Reason that you can doesn't mean a fucking thing to me. Take your reasons and drive all night, alright. Never cared what you said, kept dumb and blind. Money and your attitude of gossip and your gratitude. And yeah, you're not my problem. I've got my problems. Go away, yeah. You're not my problem. I've got my problems. Go away.
So now we're in the alley from Halloween 2. We're standing behind 716 Meridian. This is actually the Elrod house. What happens is there's a point of view shot. It's supposed to be Michael's point of view coming from their yard. He comes this way, looking down the alley here. He then turns, and when he turns, there's a jump cut. So it jumps to a shot of a dog barking, and then you'll notice this pole in the background with the X on it. The pole next to it's a newer pole that wasn't there before. The point of view shot then follows Michael this way, down the alley, and then he sees Loomis and Sheriff Brackett pull up in the car there.
I shot him 6 times.
He then hides there until they leave. He then turns, heads in this direction, and along this wall, there's another cut. And then we cut all the way back to the same yard we exited from, which is the Elrod house at 716 Meridian. So now, we're in the Elrod house. This is the famous kitchen, and here is the famous cutting board right here. This is where Miss Elrod made that tasty ham for her husband Harold, asking if he wanted mayonnaise on his sandwich, or perhaps mustard. One thing you might notice about the shot is that this door was removed for filming. It opens inward. Had it been here, it would have been blocking Michael, the view from the living room, so you wouldn't have been able to see him standing here holding the knife. So they removed this door, they kept the screen door on, which is no longer there today, which opened outward. That way they can easily come in with the Panaglide and get the shot they needed right there to the cutting board. So tell me, you lived here in the Elrod house back when Halloween 2 was filmed, correct?
No, I didn't actually live here. This is my grandparents' house.
But you were visiting during filming?
We must have been here for a weekend. We spent quite a few weekends, quite a few days here.
And you'd said that your mother had some funny stories about filming while that was going on here.
Yeah, apparently my grandmother was in using the restroom and one of the actors walked in on her while she was in there.
I believe it was Donald Pleasance.
Yes, yeah. And she was apparently quite upset that he walked in while she was using the restroom, so.
I guess worse people could walk in on you.
Exactly, yeah. Michael Myers, whatever.
Yeah. See, had Michael Myers walked in, that might not be, such a desirable thing to have happen. Now, you'd said that you had visited over the years when the Myers house was located across the street where the condos are now, and that you'd went inside, your grandpa had taken you in there? Or?
Yeah, he took me and my younger sister in there. We went over there several times when it was still across the street.
And it was vacant at the time, right?
Yeah, completely vacant. There was nobody in there, but he used to go in there and just like to scare the crap out of us. Make noises, slam doors, say he heard something, and he always got us to run out of there screaming somehow. So.
Now, do you remember when the house was moved?
I don't remember exactly when it was moved. I remember them moving it down onto the corner. I remember the vacant lot before they built the condos across the street. It looked lonely over there too. Just those single house. It looked really lonely, but it was still scary.
Halloween fans might be familiar with this corner of Meridian and Magnolia. This is actually the spot where Jamie Lee Curtis emerged from on her way to the Myers house in the first film. But this is the spot where Sheriff Brackett and Dr. Loomis pulled up in the cop car and saw Ben Tramer walking down the sidewalk. At the time, they believed it to be Michael Myers. He heads down in this direction and cuts across the street just up here. Steps out into the street about here. He gets hit right about here, the cop car coming from that direction. Pushes him up against a van that's parked right here at the corner of Magnolia and Meridian. The other Magnolia and Meridian, not to be confused with that one over there. Two different corners, but he comes from there to here, hit here, and burning. You know what I'm saying? Burning. So now we're gonna go to the babysitter houses from Hollow. Oh man, just keep walking, don't look up.
Hey, Mr. Locations guy.
Oh, hey, Robert Ressler. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Sean Clark.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool. Good
Hey,
to see you. What are
yeah.
you guys filming?
Well, we're filming another one of those location pieces for a Blu-ray release. So-
Last time I ran into you guys were doing Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, that went really well, yeah.
You here to do 2? You looking for me? Is that what's going on?
Well, we're doing a 2 right now, but we're not doing Elm Street 2. Actually, right now we're doing Halloween 2. So,
So you did Halloween 1,
yeah, we did do Halloween 1, yeah.
and now you're doing
Yeah.
Halloween 2.
Uh-huh.
You did Nightmare 1, but you're not doing Nightmare. I'm confused, bro. What's going on?
Well, I mean, this is just, you know, luck of the draw, I guess. I mean, it's the one that we're doing right now. I mean, it's nothing personal. I mean,
What the fuck, man?
we're gonna get to it. I mean, in fact, I tell you what, the next time you see us, I promise you, Elm Street 2 will be the one we're doing. I mean, we want to do it. We're gonna do it. You got it here on film now. We're gonna do Elm Street 2. Will be the next time I see you. We'll be doing Elm Street 2. Promise. Yeah, my word.
All right.
Dodged a bullet there. So now we're in Haddonfield, Illinois here. You might recognize these as the babysitter houses. These were used primarily in the original Halloween, but they were in the sequel because that's where they got the bodies. This was the Wallace house. This has changed a great deal. It's 1537 Orange Grove Avenue. This is where Annie's body was discovered, and they wheeled her out. And Charles Cyphers, Sheriff Brackett, said, "You let him out."
You let him out!
This has all been remodeled, and it's almost unrecognizable. If I hadn't been here back before this had been remodeled, I probably would have never known it was the same house. This house here, 1536. Now this has a small part in the film. This was the neighbor that comes out at the beginning of Halloween 2 and says,
Is this some kind of joke? I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight.
"You don't know what death is." Well, that happened right here, 1536. He's been trick-or-treated to death, this guy. So don't go there on Halloween. Now here, this is the most famous house, I would say, from the franchise, which would be the Doyle house. That's the famous balcony that Dick Warlock, the Shape, fell off of in the beginning of Halloween 2. And you might notice that he actually was shot 7 times in the beginning of Halloween 2. Count it. It says I shot him 6 times, shot him 7, but in Halloween 1, shot him 6. Somebody made an error there. And this is pretty much it. This is Haddonfield, Illinois, 2.0. Well, now we're in Kirstein Court here in Sierra Madre, California. This location was utilized in both Halloween 2 and Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. In Halloween 2, it was the location where Nurse Karen takes her friend home from the party. And it's also the spot where Lance Warlock, AKA Boombox Boy, bumps into the Shape, played by his father, Dick Warlock. This is where they bumped into one another, and the camera then follows the Shape in this direction, around this corner here, where the Haddonfield Memorial sign was. Around that corner is supposed to be Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. But actually, if you keep going down that street On the right-hand side, just a little ways down, is the church from John Carpenter's The Fog. Likes to keep things close, apparently. Now we're in Garfield Elementary School in Alhambra, California. Right here is where Dr. Loomis and Officer Hunt pull up to go investigate the disturbance at the school. This is also the same school that was used in the original Halloween. This part of the school was used for Tommy Doyle's school, where he falls with the pumpkin and he walks along the sidewalk here as the shape passes by in the station wagon. So it's right in here was the classroom where the butcher knife was in the desk and Sam Hain was written on the chalkboard. This is the interior of Garfield Elementary, and this is the same room that Laurie sees the shape across the street in the first film. Unfortunately, we can't get in there right now, but we do have some footage from when we went there several years ago, so you can see what it looks like. It hasn't changed a great deal. So it's in the main entrance hallway where Marion Chambers tells Dr. Loomis that the sheriff's waiting for him outside to take him away. You might remember she's in that hallway smoking. Well, it clearly states right here, tobacco use is prohibited on school properties at all times. Things were different in the 80s though, huh? Now we're at the hospital from Halloween 2. Now, we're not supposed to be here. This is a VA hospital and it's off limits. This is gonna be very quick and to the point. The building behind me wasn't there, and a lot has changed here nowadays. And this is building 10. As you can see, the structure itself is pretty much the same as it was back in the day. I believe it was through that door there that they brought Laurie Strode in. This is the area where Mr. Garrett goes looking for the disturbance. Ain't a whole lot to see here, and I don't want to be arrested, so I hope you got a whole eye full right now, because we're out of here. Take care. Right here is 716 Meridian, and I'm getting attacked by a bee or something. What is that? Bug just got in our face. One of the numbered was butchered. This is the wake. Dumbass, don't know how to carry a pumpkin. Harold, you want mayonnaise? You want mustard on your sandwich? How about mayonnaise? Let's do that again. All right. And get that blonde nurse back in here. Or the sister. I'm all good. I'm an equal opportunity employer. Know what I'm saying? All right. And the interior of the high school, which Jamie Lee Curtis learned about. I almost went into Elm Street. Learned about fate. Wrong movie. So they removed the door for filming to make it easier access and better shooting possibilities.